They first gained fame locally when they tried and failed to reenact a black mass at Harvard. But lately, the Salem-based Satanic Temple has been building a national profile thanks to a series of provocative interventions in the never-ending debate over church and state in America. Adam Riley has more.
From the outside, there's nothing exceptional about this storage shed off a busy road in Salem. But on the inside, it's another story.
It carries all these binary elements, which to us spoke to this idea of the reconciliation of opposites and pluralism. The animal, the human, pointing up, pointing down, the male and female.
Lucian Greaves is co-founder of the Satanic Temple, which calls itself a religious organization that opposes tyrannical authority and sees Satan as a symbol of free inquiry and personal autonomy. This statue was originally designed for the Oklahoma Capitol as a counterpoint to a controversial monument to the Ten Commandments. But then Oklahoma's Supreme Court ordered that monument's removal, so now the statue could be headed south.
Arkansas has already denied our monument going on their grounds. However, they're moving forward with putting up the Ten Commandments monument. We are going to sue Arkansas. There's no doubt about that.
Because Greaves says there's no legal justification for allowing one public religious monument while banning another. This is a key part of the Satanic Temple's MO. It watches for breaches of the church-state divide and then enters the fray, arguing that if Christianity can cross certain lines, Satanism can too. Another example, after-school Satan clubs, which are causing a stir in places like Arizona.
You bring up Satanists and you elicit a reaction. So
especially
I put it on my
when
Facebook
you
page.
Think about putting it into schools somehow, some way.
And with snacks and things like that.
Yeah. The promotional materials for After-School Satan include this cheery logo and a YouTube video that resembles a horror movie. But despite the kitsch, Greaves says the After-School Satan campaign highlights a serious issue. Across the country, so-called good news clubs, sponsored by the Child Evangelism Fellowship, are pitching fundamentalist Christianity in public schools.
Just the very idea that we were applying to have 9 after-school Satan clubs to counteract them brought the good news clubs into public consciousness, which was already a win for us.
And the Satanic Temple plays another angle. It identifies practices it finds objectionable, like school-based corporal punishment in Texas or abortion restrictions in Missouri, and urges people to push back by claiming those practices violate their satanic religious beliefs.
We feel that due to our tenets, again, that the body is inviolable, subject to one's own will alone. And on religious principle, we rely on science as the arbiter of truth claims.
So far, Greaves admits the anti-corporal punishment campaign hasn't taken off, but their lawsuit challenging Missouri's abortion policies has reached that state's Supreme Court, all of which raises an obvious question. Is the Satanic Temple a real religion or just a clever way to provoke and challenge the religious right? Greaves says that while the group pointedly rejects the supernatural, its beliefs are sincere and deeply held.
We have a sense of cultural identity and ethics and a narrative structure that really binds us together. The political battles we fight aren't all there is to it. And I feel that even if we didn't have these fights to fight, most of us would still be here, and we'd still have this sense of community, and we'd still be who we are.
And however you define the Satanic Temple, right now its approach seems to be working like a charm. Adam Riley, WGBH News.
Oral arguments in that Missouri Supreme Court case on abortion are slated to start in January. Unless you think the Satanic Temple only picks fights in red states, we should note they're not happy that they haven't been allowed to give the invocation at a Boston City Council meeting yet, and they're thinking of litigating here, too.